Welcome to the DorkLair Collecting live stream, chill stream. This time we are just gonna hang out. I'm noticing my connection speed looks like it's a little slow. So in the chat, let me know if if it looks choppy or whatever. How do I look on your end, Curtis?
Look great to me. Yeah.
Okay. Likewise. What's going on, Curtis?
Not
Art
much.
by Ackerman. It's art by Ackerman. It's art by Ackerman.
That
Song
Jeremy
gets
can
in my
knock out
head.
a song, that's for sure.
Yeah, he can write an earworm for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Curtis has the new channel, man. How's it going?
It's going good. Tomorrow will be 14 days of, something either a live or a drop
Yeah,
every single day. So
that's
just
crazy.
trying to stay busy, stay active. Already hit 500 subscribers, which was awesome within the first 2 weeks. I
Congrats.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's going really well.
Yeah, I've been watching. I haven't watched everything yet. You're putting it out too fast for me, but I have been watching them, and they've been fantastic. A lot of just like quick, like here's just like a very specific tip or a very
Mhm.
specific tool or technique, right? Like, and it's like a super focused 10, 15 minute little thing, and it's great. Really super informative so far, as I'm sure it will continue to be.
Yeah, I was trying to have some that were like, more like, 5, 6 minutes, but it's just I talk too much for that. So
Yeah,
I think they're all, yeah, somewhere around 12 to 15 minutes. And then some are a little bit longer, some are in the 20 minutes. But yeah, it just depends on what I'm doing and what I'm talking about.
nice. That's good, man. That's awesome. Congrats.
Thank you.
Let's check in with the chat here. Um, and that's tonight. I want to kind of focus on the chat, hang with the chat. I didn't even do a slideshow. I have a couple links of like some kind of news type items, but I want to hang out with the chat. We got Dave Orkin was here at 3 p.m.
Wow.
I hope he's been there. We're just sitting at his screen waiting for the last 5.5 hours. Michael Casper is here. Blake is here. It's a party tonight. It's like a hangover party. This is like hair of the dog, right? As they say.
Yeah.
I we host, and we try to go all out, and we break out the good wine, and we cook a ton of food, and we have a ton of apps, and just it's my favorite day of the year, honestly. Like I love hosting Christmas Day. I think part of it is we don't have a huge family. It's me, my wife, my daughter,
Yeah.
and then it's my sister and brother-in-law, their two sons, and then my mother-in-law and my other brother-in-law. So it's 9 people, which is like a super reasonable, nice number of people, especially for my small house.
Mhm.
But it's such a good time. I love it.
Yeah,
We
this
got
was
the
the
collecting
first
brothers.
one. My
Oh, sorry.
my parents moved about an hour and a half away earlier this year, so this is the first time that we haven't like all as a family gone over to their house. And it was nice. I mean, I obviously I miss seeing my parents, but just being able to wake up and stay home and not go anywhere was pretty nice.
That is the best. We got Trevor, Kevin McCoy, Rob Zamora, Tom Williams, Brian Carr, Wholesome Warlock. Kirby is here with the 3-minute warning. Jeremy Govier, Benji, Lone Dragon, Bill English, Mock Symbiont. Who else we got here? Heinrich Hoffman, Cloud Foxwell, Jay Mack, Steve Wegling. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. Hanukkah started yesterday. The
Oh,
first
nice.
day it was yesterday, so it's day 2. Old Grumpy Nerd, Ostradamus, Ludwig Rocker. Who else did I miss? Motu Guru, Old Grumpy Nerd, Corey Meyer. Says your videos have been great, Curtis.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mike Vieira. I think that's Mike Vieira, right? Mike V.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis Christensen. Chris High. Sanjuro. Greetings from Mexico. Happy holidays.
Nice.
Cloud says, I couldn't afford Christmas this year, so it was just a chill day off with the wife. Oh, you don't have to afford Christmas. Christmas is in here.
There you go. Hey, I tell you what, a chill day off with the wife sounds pretty freaking good too, though.
Yeah, it sounds like an amazing Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I know Heinrich. He had to work. He had to work yesterday. So plenty of people working also on Christmas Day, especially the movie theater workers, right? Because that's like a thing, right? Like people go to the movie theaters, sporting events. There's like a lot. There's always a basketball game Christmas Day. Now there's multiple football games. I guess like the Netflix football games. So like entertainment industry workers, I guess they're all working Christmas Day. Let's see, Rick Jones, Cyber Rat. I think we're caught up here. Drop Cag. All right, what's up, everybody? Oh, who the heck said they had to work yesterday? Somebody said they had to work yesterday. I forget who it was. Anyway, let's talk some toys. So one thing that came up is PowerCon is gonna happen, sort of. It's part of Toylanta. Like, I don't know what the heck that means. Like, is it just like saying they're like, let's throw our brand name sort of into the mix, or is there gonna be actual PowerCon programming, or I don't know. Like, what's your take on that, Curtis?
What I'm hearing basically is that it was basically dead, but Val doesn't necessarily want it to be dead, but he had no like actual working plans for this year and was afraid if they went 2 years off that basically you're just people are gonna forget about it. The name's gonna go away. It's not gonna be, so this is a way to kind of keep the name alive, I guess. But as far as like what they're actually gonna have, I mean, it feels like they're just kind of attaching their name to the Toylanta show to add a little bit extra to it. But as far as whether there's going to be any different vendors than I mean, heck, it's only 3 months away. It's not like, it's August. So I don't know that there's going to be any major changes from a vending standpoint, from an exclusive standpoint. Like, I don't know. Yeah. It's just,
Heinrich spoke to a PowerCon
there for
vendor, and he said the vendor was blindsided, no communication from organizers, so it was sort of a just out of left field kind of move. Sounds like.
I think from everything that I've been hearing, like it's just a lot of work for Val to do, and the last one that they actually had, he went really overboard with the exclusives, which a lot of them he ended up getting stuck with because they didn't sell.
Interesting.
So, I think it's just a lot to put together, and it's a lot of work, and he hasn't typically made money off of them. It's been break even at best. So, but at the same time, the name has a lot of cachet to it. So, if there's a way to, whether it's, get a partner to help, manage some of the workload or some of the expenses, or even, get rid of it altogether, I wouldn't be surprised to see him pass that on to somebody else and like basically sell the rights to the name and everything. But we'll see what happens. I think this, at least keeps the name out there for another year, but it's a nothing announcement for me. So
yeah, it was the fact that it was an announcement was what was interesting to me, because it just doesn't seem like what really is gonna happen there, like in terms of it. I don't know. This hurts because PowerCon in Ohio was so much fun, absolute riot. Yeah, and and then you have all the people that were like excited that it had moved to Ohio, and it was 2 years there and then gone.
Yeah,
or 3 or whatever it was.
Yeah, I mean, my understanding is that the first year, um, people weren't really sure what to expect because it was like the first one that wasn't a He-Man focused con, like it was more just like a
Yeah.
regular toy show. And my
Yeah.
my everything I've heard is that it went really well. And then the second year, they got the bigger venue, a lot more exclusives, all this kind of stuff. And I feel like people had a really good time, but vendors that I've talked to didn't do amazing, and Val didn't make money off of it. So even though it was a fun time and people enjoyed it, like if the guy that's putting it together is losing money on the deal, I mean, how long can he
Right.
keep doing that? So
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
um,
you get that angle of, oh, this is an amazing gathering. This is an amazing event from the fan side, but you don't always know that other side of it.
right.
Jordan says, I'm here for it. I'll take a sliver of PowerCon combined with an amazing con that is Toylanta over no PowerCon at all. Sure.
I
And
mean, as somebody that loves going to Toylanta and promotes it all year long, that doesn't surprise me that he feels that way.
yeah,
But realistically, is it going to be any different than what Toylanta was going to be without this announcement? I don't know. I doubt it. It was still going to be a great con anyway. But
Tanya's here, Legion's ladies, and Greg says the 2 years I went were a lot of fun. That's awesome. Yeah, that was like Chris, Larry, and I 2 years ago. No, last year we were like thinking about going, then we didn't go, and we saw how much fun it was, and we decided, okay, this year, or I guess 2 years ago, we decided that, and then like very shortly after that decision was made, we were like, we were all gonna go next year, and then they canceled it. Luckily, Chris went to Legion's Con, but Larry didn't. I'm hoping Larry will maybe try to come next year. Running a con is a business. PowerCon brought in plenty of revenue. You have to control your costs.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think you have to be
management.
realistic too when it comes to like the exclusives and stuff on how much excitement there is for each exclusive for each brand. Like, if you do one with the Horsemen, odds are you're going to do pretty well with that one. But like
Yeah.
all the other ones they had, like I think you got to be realistic on what you think is actually going to sell. So
Heinrich says it's going to be at a larger venue. So like they had a venue planned for Toylanta, and then now that they decided it's going to be a PowerCon Toylanta, they're moving to a bigger venue. Is that?
I don't think so. It may be a larger venue this year than it was last year, but to my knowledge, it has not changed in the last day or two since the announcement. Sense. Like it's still the same thing. It's been on the books for the last several months. So
a lot of exclusives. Yeah. So they moved to a bigger venue, but it wasn't necessarily because of the PowerCon decision. It was because they're growing.
Yeah.
Cool.
All indications are that Toylanta show is a lot of fun. So
I've heard really good things. I was chatting with Jeremy recently, and he said it's like one of his favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. What else did I have in the news? Oh, let's pull up Store Horsemen. Let me actually pull one off here. Pull a tab and go to Store Horsemen. So it is the last week to pre-order the Reign of the Beasts. And let me show a tab. So we get the Reign of the Beasts ending Sunday night. So you got a couple days left. But ends Sunday night, and then of course Monday morning you'll have the retailers will open up their pre-orders.
That all-in price is ridiculous. It's so good.
Yeah, it really is. And I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that these 3.0 figures only being $3 more,
Hmm.
but having all that extra articulation, all that extra new engineering and tooling and all that stuff, the value on those specifically is like so super high.
What'd they say the
Um,
savings was for getting the all in is like $100 or something? Is it
versus buying all of them separately at a
retailer? Yeah.
retailer.
Yeah.
I want to say it was like $30 or $40, something like that. It like versus like buying them all individually direct.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Um,
125 versus if you bought these, yeah, from a retailer. That's crazy.
yeah, and even just like I think Leodicius, like I think it's like a full $20 more at retail, right? Like
I think so. I think he's 80 by himself, and I think he's 100 at retailer, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
this is such a colorful wave.
Hmm.
It's so cool. What's your favorite?
Lee Odysseus by far.
Same.
He's just. I mean, I didn't know how they were gonna do him, but it's perfect.
I agree. It's like I don't know. There's especially with the last wave, the Poxus wave. I'm becoming more and more of an ogre scale collector. Like I just love the big chunky figures. Like the Arakagor figure ended up being my number one on my top 10 list.
I
I
saw.
like
I saw
and
that.
I didn't I didn't specifically choose it as my number one. It sort of fell in there because of my like category rankings and stuff like that. But it's worthy of it. And I like this is going to be even better. I mean, just this figure will be even better. I think for the format, the ogre scale format.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the not only the size but the articulation. Like, it's there's some cool stuff in this wave for sure.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the armory stuff. I don't know when that's going up for sale, but that's like the big thing that I'm looking forward to.
Did you see my? I put them back in the box, but my Christmas.
Nice.
I got that one. Santa got me these. These are from Santa.
Very nice. Love Santa.
Yeah, Santa's the best. Let's see here. Heinrich says 2 Leos, 4 Arayas, 1 Basilia for me.
Hmm?
Hank agrees, I think, that Arakagor is number one. So if I were just flat out picking, like so I started my list with like, what would be the 10 that I would keep? It's like if I had to get rid of all 30 figures that came out this year and only keep 10 of those 30, which one would I keep? Which ones would I keep? And that's how I based it on, right? So
Yep.
like the top 10 all together were like my favorites. But then I did the ranking. But if I had given myself the task of just picking one to keep, like you can
Hmm.
only keep one, it absolutely would have been the Frankenstein's creature. Like that was the one that I was expecting would be number one. I think it ended up being number two. So it was up there, but like yeah, Rakagor just kind of hit really high on a lot of those categories.
Yeah, I figured all the figures would find their way in your top list. That didn't surprise me.
They
So
tend to. They
yeah.
tend to, yeah. Let's see here. I really appreciate the smaller waves. Those giant waves are hard on the wallet. Yeah, and it's just like sometimes like getting 12 figures or just like having a wave hit, like you're just like be delivered to your house and you just have them all. And it's like, it's sometimes a little overwhelming. It's like time consuming and stuff. So it's like you can appreciate each figure more when there's like a smaller wave, like this retailer wave, right? Like, that hit and it's pretty digestible. A couple of them are repaints, right? Like it's a very, I mean, actually in sort of some ways, like they're all types of repaints, but like it's a very digestible thing when it's only 5 figures. It's kind of refreshing, or I don't know, it's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a few conversations with folks about like the old Matty collector days. Um, and I would be down for something like that where like you just pay for like a subscription service and get, a new figure dropped every month. Um, because I used to be one of those guys that when the all in came, did the whole mythic pizza and open them all up and stuff. But then I figured out that I wasn't really truly appreciating each figure because I was just trying
Yeah.
to get through the whole, opening process. And so now I just, I'll open up one and then maybe 3 or 4 days later, open up another one and just kind of stretch it out a little bit and
Hmm.
really appreciate each figure individually. And, um, yeah, it seems be a little bit better that way. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And with the reviews, it kind of forces me to do that a little bit too, because I have a certain process, and I'll get them all out of the box and I'll shoot the turnarounds because it's easy to just like shoot them all in a row. And
mhm.
I'll shoot all the turnarounds, and then it's one at a time. Like there's no way I can like open up 8 figures or something and then feel like I'm organized enough to like start doing a one review at a time. Like I keep them off to the side in the box until it's ready for review time, and then like otherwise I just can't. Um, I just like with all my popping and swapping and my mess, like it just would get out of control.
Oh, I bet.
So in some ways it's like that for me when as long as I'm reviewing them, sometimes I don't always review them, but let's see here. Yeah, so back to the armory. That's gonna be a big hit. Like so we're thinking about how we have this ending this weekend,
Mhm.
and then we have I would imagine sometime between now and March is going to be an in stock sale with the armory, with the Ninian, right? Like,
Mhm.
and are there any other exclusives or anything from last year that still need to drop? No, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so it would be those two, and then maybe what if there's anything else?
I
But
mean, it's been
like
forever since we've had a test shot sale. There's been a lot of
that's true.
waves that have dropped without test shots.
Mm,
So it wouldn't surprise me to see that at some point, unless they're
yeah,
just done with doing those. Um, but yeah, I mean, we know the Dragons right now push back till March, so I would totally expect something, mid January with the Armory and Ninian, and maybe a few surprises.
yeah, yeah. And I'm probably gonna do the all in on the
Oh
armory,
yeah,
so that's gonna be
Tanya
like
says
500.
the Legions Con figures, the non-exclusive versions.
Oh, right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Right. Cool. Yeah, and I'll probably do the all in on the armory nights, and that's gonna be a pretty big chunk of money.
mm. Yeah, I wasn't going to do the all in, but then I did a video last week for just trying to figure out what to do with some painted heads I picked up at Legions Con, and man, those things are perfect for that. Because
Yeah.
they're still a non-named character, so it's not like like if you take a painted head, you get it from Legion's Con, you pop it on a Lord Dragul, you can still see it's a Lord Dragul body,
Right.
unless you're gonna pop and swap and change it up. But like you can just put it on an Armory Experience body, and it's now a new character, and it's still got the painted details and all that kind of stuff. Like it's not a Legion builder, but at the same time, it's not a named character. So I don't know, man. I think those things are that it's definitely worth getting the all in for it. So
Yeah. And there's just like for me, there's a lot of parts in there in those colors
mhm.
that like I'm not going to be complete on all the parts, but I'll be pretty close if I can get that all in. Plus the 4 figures I got, which I focused on getting parts that aren't in the in stock sale and stuff. So how many
I would have
figures in
liked to
there?
have the cloth arms and legs on those armory figures, on a few of them at least, but um, it's still a really great set.
Yeah. See, my thing is like I have a lot of figures with the cloth arms and legs, and not a lot of figures with the new armored Valiant Knight articulated arms and legs. So I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
totally fine with all the armored on that. Those are parts that I'm like, I don't really want them that much as I do like just having extras of of those other arms.
I think
Yeah,
they were
it's
surprised how fast those cloth arms and legs went at Legion's Con. Like they were gone pretty quick. So
yeah. I I wonder if that's because they're not in that 10,
probably.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10. So those are what, $40 figures. So it'll be a $400 all in.
Yeah.
And they're going to be limited, they said. Like the all-ins are going to sell out pretty quick, I think. So if you want an all-in, you're going to want to like plan ahead, be logged in, be ready to go, refresh, and then like just like do that, get it, get out. Don't poke around for other stuff. Don't be like, okay, now's the time when I throw a few extra, you know, reinforcement guys in there. Hey,
Right.
who knows? They could do another reinforcement wave.
And then
Um,
pretty soon we'll have Necronominus and All Star 6 back to back
I
coming
know.
at us. So,
Yeah, yeah, because Necronominus is on the water, so
mhm.
we're talking like end of January, beginning of February. That'll be like starting to get delivered to people. The leather chest parts are really good looking.
Mhm.
They came out great. Just like the richness of the paint applications on all those armory figures is so good.
For sure.
Cloud regrets not making a purple knight. That's why I shifted gears. Originally, I was like, I'm gonna try to like go complete on like one color and get like all the parts in one color.
Mhm.
And then I like last minute I shifted. Like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna try to do the get as many parts in all different colors as I could, and I got 4 different colors. And I'm glad I did, because then I had the experience of all 4 and mixing and matching parts from all 4, and yeah, yep. Big Steve Stavros, that's his name, right?
Mhm.
Which is an awesome. I cannot wait for that black dragon. Any opinions on the new AxyToys announcements? I actually don't. I don't think I saw them. Feels like it's a trickle feed they had for the first releases done all in one.
I have
Yeah, I
no
don't
idea.
know. I
Didn't hear the
actually didn't.
announcement.
Yeah, I didn't see it. If you want to shoot me a link, Ben, to like social media, um, let me know.
I've been seeing some of the Armies of Ashmore. Saw your review, and then I guess Billy's got one up now.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. He did the red one,
mhm.
which one is that again?
The Vassapolo one.
Oh yeah, the Vasapolo. Yeah. Um, yeah. So that I don't. I wish I had it still. I wanted to get it right back out because it was like it came in like right before Christmas, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this review, and I'm gonna get it back in the mail, and then I'm not gonna worry about like this thing that I have to do after Christmas or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, kind of kick off my vacation right. So I got it right back out. Like I literally, it came in that morning, and then it
Mhm.
was packed up for that Tuesday morning to be shipped. But it's awesome. That body, the paintwork. I mean, it feels like a brute scale or an ogre scale legions type figure. You know, if they had like sort of announced that body as like Mythic Legions 4.0 body or something like that, it would fit. It would feel like it would fit right in. Like it just has that plastic quality. It's got the sculpt quality, the sharpness of the sculpt that is always above and beyond any other line with the Horsemen. And then it's got, just like the great paint applications and really cool stuff.
Yeah, the review was really nice. I liked it. I like the chunkiness of them, and I'm definitely putting them right in with my cosmic figures. Like it
Yeah.
to me, that's just going to be like a world within Cosmeria.
Mm-hmm.
So
Totally. Yep. And those should be. I'm not sure if they're on the water yet, but they're coming pretty soon because what he sent me and what he sent Billy
Mhm.
were factory final production samples. So like it's all produced and boxed up, right? Like those were just sent out early. Um, and so, after that there was like a couple tweaks, like the piece that connects the Brontosaurus head and the head's pack to the body. It's like a different connector piece. Wasn't in there, but it's, the final production is going to have it in there. It's like little tweaks like that. Like everything else is like totally done and set to go. And it definitely felt like a fully produced, like polished figure
That's
in
awesome.
hand. And I can't wait to get my own because, when this is like not my property, so I'm gentle with it to an extent. I didn't really it very durable feeling, but like I don't want to like scuff it up and like mess up the figure. So it'll be fun when I get one in hand and I can like boil the thing and like just yank it apart and play around with it and
Right.
see what it's really like got. Um, it's going to be a very expensive year for Four Horsemen. 10 Armory Knights, Silver Knights, Necro Wave. Yeah, the Graveyard Skeletons are going to be quick too. All Star 6, Rising Suns, Ashes Wave, and a Dragon. Some of that may not hit, it's all depends on how you ordered it. Like the Dragon you'll be paying for it in 2025.
Well, some of this you may have already paid for too. So
Right, that's
it's kind of
true.
a
Yep.
combination of stuff you've already paid for, stuff that you will pay for, stuff that'll come in this year, stuff that won't come in this year.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if anything's not like Rising Suns could potentially, be or like the same situation. It could be like where we are with Necronominus, where it could have hit towards the end of the year, but it may not. So we'll see where that ends up. I'm sure if we looked on the site right now, it probably says middle or Q3 2025 probably for that. But
mhm.
we know how these things are. They always tend to giant waves. They tend to take longer than expected always.
Yeah.
The Ashes wave should be pretty quick, I would imagine. There's not a ton of new
I don't think
in
there
that
was any
wave.
new tooling really, other than maybe a couple heads.
Yeah.
So
Um, I think the Dragon will be quicker than people expect because they've already been working with the factory on that. Like that, they're already prototyping it. They're already like tweaking it and messing with it in the factory. So I don't think that's going to be nearly as long as like a Rising Suns or a Necronominus, like a big, um, tentpole typical G-Con wave.
the only thing is just making sure that it moves the way that it's supposed to. There's no QC issues.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to do their due diligence on something that because this is going to be in a Kickstarter type format. You're going to have some folks that don't collect
Yep.
Legions that are going to be purchasing this. They're going to want to make sure that this thing is absolutely smooth. So, that may take a little bit of time, but doing one figure versus, whatever is in like Necronominus, like 12, 15 figures, like, yeah, I think it'll be faster. They're still going to make sure that it's the way that they want it
Yeah.
to look though,
Oh
and the
yeah.
way they want it to feel.
Certainly. And there's a lot of newness in that because it's
Mhm.
it's a format that they just have not ever done yet. So, that adds time. But again, they've already started doing a lot of that stuff. So let's see here. We're gonna do a giveaway. Let me get caught up on the comments and then we'll do a giveaway. Yeah, the Graveyard Skeletons, Billing Ish is excited for. Let's see. Motu Guru says, did anybody else get the Savage Crucible Viteris Rapax? I'm opening mine as we speak. I didn't end up getting that one. But it looks fantastic. It looks like it came out great. So yeah, I've been seeing a lot of pictures of that. And I actually saw it in person at um at the Toy Galaxy Expo or the Secret Galaxy Expo. And it does look nice.
Mhm.
There's just only so many Lemurians that I like can keep buying. Um, Brian Carr says, I'm loving the videos that have been showing the armies of Ashmore. I'm all in on them. Yeah, I ordered it's funny because like after my video, a lot of people were messaging me saying, you know what, these are a lot bigger than I expected. And it's like the reality of like a wave of, what is it, 6 figures? I forget the wave. I think it's 6, but then there's like some exclusives and variants. It's like close
Right.
to like 8 or something. Um,
They're going to take up some
uh,
space.
yeah, they're all ogre. They're ogre scale figures. It's gonna take some space for sure.
Well, and then on top of that, you've also got those tails on them too. So it's not just the height,
Yeah,
but it's also the depth. So
yeah, they tuck down pretty good. Like they don't like if you position them right, they
mhm,
are fairly downward, and
mhm.
it won't really go too far back. Cloud says, I know I'm just hanging out in the chat, but chilling with Curtis and Bill is a good time, perking me back up. So thank you, Cloud.
Absolutely.
2 books, right? Like added to the stuff that's going to be coming out. Yeah, the Silver Knights. Um, so that'll be with the book, right? And they
Mhm.
said that'll be somewhat in the first half of the year, I think they said for that
Yeah.
pre-order, right? Right. Rising Suns says mid 2025, but they typically have been saying it's like that's the initial expected ship date, and they a couple months late. And this is one of my pet peeves is when I see people say, I've been waiting 2 years for this wave, which is like technically correct, but like they kind of frame it in a way like this is 2 years longer than I
Behind. Yeah.
expected. And it's like, it's only a few months. It's like 6 months. I mean, if you think about it, if middle of the year is like Q2, Q3, right?
Mhm.
Like that's only a few months into like it's just like another quarter added on, right? To get to late 2025 or late whatever, late 2024. So there's like a weird like thing where people they conflate waiting 1.5 years of your expected wait plus another 6 months versus waiting 2 full years as if it's like 2 years longer than they expected it to be.
Yeah.
Ashes says late Q2. Let's see here. Blake, to add to what Carr said, there are other figures and lines besides the Horsemen figures to buy. Yeah, I mean, right? Like, there's more stuff. Packaging will be critical to get right. I remember Eric saying that he was looking at it and it was probably going to be the size of 2 troll cases, I think, which to me sounds like that's probably the size of like a big all in. Like if you get the shipment, the all in, like let's say the Rising Suns all in or the Necronominus all in, I would imagine the Dragon box is going to be roughly the same size because the wings are going to be off, the tail will be off. Like the core of that figure is fairly compact, right?
Mhm.
And then a wing is like kind of flat enough. Like it sounds like it's not going to be a terribly large box. It's not going to be like the Ghost, right? Like the HasLab Ghost, which is like the thing is a giant diamond shaped hull, and it's like there's no way to like break that down really like smaller. Even the Razor Crest that has detachable wings, like the thing is it's huge. Um, because some dimensions aren't break down. You can't really break them down. But with the dragon, you can because like you can take the neck off, you could take the tail off, you could take the wings off, and just reposition them in a box, and it's
Right.
not quite as big. Yeah, Blake got that Viteris as well. Is that there's no date for the Armory Knights, just early 2025.
I imagine it's the first thing we'll see in the year.
Yeah. Yep. And like they typically don't wait very long for the next thing to be announced. So like we could see New Year happen right?
Hmm.
And then the next couple days, maybe in the next week, we could see an announcement. Maybe they'll leak out some teasers or something. Maybe it'll be like the the test shots teaser, something to tease it or whatever, but then they'll announce like a date.
And those all ins are ready to go. Like they've been sitting there since
Yep.
before Legions Con. So I know I got to take a look at the actual shipping room where they do the shipping there at Four Horsemen, and it was just boxes of those all ins like everywhere. So
Yeah.
I mean, they're just as soon as those orders come in, slap some labels on those, get them out the door.
Yep. Blake is thinking it'll be roughly the size of the Hiss tank, which I don't have, but that's a fairly I don't want to say it's a compact vehicle, but it's not like a plane with like wings and it's not like a long thing. It's a fairly like rectangular kind of thing. Heinrich says he thinks it'll be larger. That was very compact. Interesting. Yeah, I don't have a frame of reference for it though. I just kind of know like what the Hiss tank looks like outside of the box. Yeah, was it 2 trolls or 2 troll cases? Or because that would be, I think a case of trolls was 2 trolls, so 4 trolls or 2 trolls. I don't know.
Yeah, 2 trolls doesn't seem nearly big enough, but 2 cases of trolls,
Right,
would.
side by side.
Yeah,
right. Like,
yeah.
Albert says, did I hear there will be leftover armory nights for sale as well, possibly random?
Yes.
They did say that. Were they going to do like mixed random parts or something?
I don't know how they're determining what's going with what, but yes, they're in you. First of all, you've got the all ins, then you've got, I think, some individually packed ones that they've got that are just like
Right.
part of the all in,
The pre-built. Yeah, all those
packed.
pre-built 10, and then they'll have individuals of the pre-built 10 and the all-ins of the pre-built 10.
Yeah. And then they've got these extra things from the armory experience that they're piecing together. But it sounds like you're not sure what you're going to get. You may get stuff with different colors. You may get stuff that's mixed and matched. Like, so how much they're going to charge for something like that, I have no idea. And is it just going to be like a baggie of parts, or like I
think
don't know
so. I think they would probably be grabbing them. I mean, if it's not going to be completely random. Like, it will be for the buyer, but like those guys will be grabbing parts and making bundles of parts, right? Like, let me these arms, these legs, like this thing. Excuse me. And then, so, it might be pretty random in terms of colors, but you're going to get, a left arm, a right arm. Like, I'm sure it'll be a full
but you may
figure
get like some of the, like the evil armory stuff and the good armory stuff. Like you may get some of the, some spiky, some smooth, all mixed together, some leather and some, some armor or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, you'll get the parts to make a full figure for sure.
Yeah. It'll be like the baggies that were at the thing, I would imagine. Like, here's the
I just don't know if they'll like just put those in like one of those, like, you got the trays that they gave you when you were there. Like they gave you a box basically, and then you throw the baggies in the box. Maybe that it'll be like that, where it'll just be a box full of baggies. So,
well, I hope that it's just another baggie with the baggies in it, because I don't have enough baggies after that experience. So I would need one more upsized baggie to put all the baggies in to make sure that I really complete my baggie collection.
There you go. Yep.
I didn't even take the containers or anything at the armory event. I was just, I have so much stuff. I know I'm going to be walking out of this convention with so much stuff. I just had my parts. I grabbed one tray and like just had them all in just like in one tray, and that's what I walked out with. More baggies. You know what's funny is I got an email from clearbags.com saying your were renewing your affiliate code or whatever, and I thought that had run out like 2 years ago, but apparently there's still a DorkLair code. I have to look that up again and try it. But
Mm.
apparently on clearbags.com, there's still a DorkLair collaboration, because they had messaged me the following year and they were like, "Do you want to try this deal out with us?" And it involved me doing a whole bunch of video work and
Yeah.
still just barely getting like a 5% discount for my viewers or something like that. And it was like, why? That's just not even like worth the energy. Like I appreciate their product. I like their product, but like, I don't want to be like locked into like making content if there's not much kickback for me. Like
Right.
having like a full on like ad at the start of every video, and there's really nothing coming back for me except for I and my viewers get a 5% discount code or something. And then from there, when I declined that, I was like, okay, that deal's over. But Cloud says, we got them baggies for your baggies to put in your baggies. We got lots of baggies over here. Hey, dog, I heard you like baggies, so we made a baggie for your baggies. That's everybody's house has a bag of bags, right? Like you have like a bag that has all your like grocery bags in it.
Yeah.
Bag of bags. The bags bag. I'm curious how many will jump into statues with them collaborating with Sideshow and how many will hold off. It'll be interesting to see who buys their first statue in that situation. I have a wonderful statue. It's the Conan statue from Mezco. It is 1/12 scale though, so it's fairly reasonable size. It fits in a DTOF cube. It's not like a quarter scale giant piece, like.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they do. And their premium formats tend to be very large.
I think it depends on which characters they start with. To me, it makes sense to start with the Dark Four. Like if they put out the Dark Four, I could see a lot of people getting those. Even if those are the only ones that they get.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, nowhere to put them is the thing. It's like, if they were to do 12th scale, if they were to do somewhat smaller statues, I could see myself getting some, like one or two of like the characters I would really like, but I mean, all I can think about is like, my mind is dead set on that dragon, finding a place for it, having the money for it, like making sure that I can do the dragon, and then everything else is just kind of like peripheral. Let's do a giveaway. I got a couple things. So I've been cleaning up, I've been selling, and I've found I had an extra one of these. So this is the 40th anniversary He-Man figure.
Oh, nice.
That I was popping and swapping these a little bit, and I had an extra one because this is like the only figure with the big buff torso. Like all the other figures have the smaller torso, and this is the only one with the big buff torso. So I had purchased a couple extras when they were like $10, and never got around to it. And I started selling collections. And my Masterverse is one of the collections that's gone. And this was one that just wasn't with the loose stuff because it's still in a box. So we're gonna give that away. This is one that I thought I was gonna collect the line, the like retro style D&D ones, and I only got one, and I never got the other ones. They did all four. So I'm like, you know what? I think I can give this one away too, because I'm not collecting the retro ones. I have all of the regular ones, but I didn't end up going along with those. And then a Tusk pilot.
Nice.
Because I do have a bunch of these. So Tusk pilot. So let me get set up for a giveaway here. And do you want to read some chats? Can you see the chats or?
I can't pull them up, but I can see them.
Okay, if you want to read some.
Let's see. Bill English says, my limited funds will be going to articulated plastic of some kind, likely 4H or D13. I can see that. Rick Jones says, I'm a child who should not own statues. So, the collector, GI Joe statues with Iron Studios. I'm guessing 1/10 scale. That I didn't hear that. That's interesting. Cloud says, I got in out of so many other figure lines, but friends are trying to get me into Monster Force. I think she might be talking about Trevor, because Trevor's been talking about Monster Force a lot. So
yep.
they look nice. So I don't have any, but
That's what I've like. It hit at just the right time for me to be highly resistant to the impulse on it. And I had originally had a couple on pre-order, and when I saw they were starting to get ready, I was like, you know what, I'm backing off of these. All right, so for the He-Man figure, we're gonna do that one first. This is for the He-Man figure, and the hashtag is PowerCon for the He-Man figure. And I did want to.
If you win, though, we're shipping it to Atlanta, so you have to go get it there.
You got to drive. Yeah. So I hope somebody in Ohio wins it, because if you live in Ohio and you win this, we are going to make you pick it up at PowerCon in Atlanta. Statues would have to be dynamite and priced right. Yeah, this is pretty. There was a time when I wasn't going to dive into Legions at all, so I can't say I won't get some statues. The Ben Cooper line, when they did that, like how they do their 12 graphics of Christmas, and it was like the Ben Cooper kids, and there was like 40 freaking figures in the checklist already. Like, how is that even? It's only been a year, and it's like, I mean, obviously it's an easy. It's like the same body over and over again with a I don't know, it's not painted but printed shirt, and then just a different head every time. Like, right, like, so it's not that hard, but like still, like the fact that there's that many, they're like becoming Funko Pops at this point.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there.
I did want to talk about, let me see here, some Glyos. So Mighty Maniacs, they had a Kickstarter for their new line called the Dark Earth. And that's actually shipping. So my Kickstarter, my like pledge is already shipped. Should be here, I think, late this week or early next week. Well, I guess it's already late this week, so probably early next week. And then their remaining stock is up online, although looks like one's sold out here. Death Row is sold out. But this is basically, it's actually a good one to look at to see. It's two new figures. It's this barbarian and this beast. So you have like these two new figures, and then you have all these different colorways of that figure. So like if we zoom in on Death Row, right, and Gravestone, right, like those are all variants of that same initial body. And then like this guy, Conjure, I like this guy. It's pretty cool. I did not get him, but I think I like that colorway. I think it's pretty sweet. So those are all the barbarian ones, and then you have all of the beasts. So you've got, these are like their lizard body. You get this red one, and then like so for example, if we zoom over here, like this and this would go good together, because you could put like his arms on him, and like the reds would match and stuff. And yeah, so that's that wave. It's those two bodies, and there's a few other things.
That one that was at the very top in that 2-pack is like a take, not that one. The one that was right next to it with the eyeball.
Oh yeah,
that's trying to think of the name of that character, but there's like a Motu character that's just like that with the eyeball that the Horsemen did.
Right.
I think it was like optic or something.
Okay.
But it was just like that. It was like gold armor, eyeball, green eyeball.
Okay.
Yep, optic. Motu Guru
Okay.
says.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Um, yeah, and these two are their original body. So this is the fur beast body, and then this is like the armored body.
mhm.
The eyeball, I'm not sure if the eyeball's new or if they've had the eyeball around for a while, but yeah. But this was part of the Kickstarter. This was like one of the stretch goal type things, and this was one of the stretch goals. So this is like one that's like probably going to be pretty hard to find. Um, and this one was the exclusive, and this was a Toy Galaxy, Secret Galaxy collab. And then like Dan Larson designed a pin that like goes along with this guy. And there were other like artist collaborations with it for the Kickstarter. But anyway, and then there's blanks, and that's what I ended up ordering because these weren't available on the Kickstarter. But I ended up ordering some blanks because I think, and I ended up it was all beasts. So I got the blue blank and like the white blank. I got like one of each of the blanks because I'm gonna start doing some painting of these guys. In addition, because it's just like it's a little smaller, a little easier to like kind of practice some stuff on. Um, but yeah, so the Dark Earth, it looks like they're starting to sell out a little bit. I'm a little surprised he's gone. I felt like he would have been like they would have probably made a lot of him. But yeah, so that's live now, and these are just remaining stock. And of course, like down the road, there's going to be plenty of other waves that they'll do, and they'll have these sculpts. But this is sort of like your first chance to get these new sculpts in hand: the barbarian and the and that lizard beast guy. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
And oh, you know what I meant to mention earlier? That let's see, let's go back to the giveaway tool here. That you were talking about the Maddie collector stuff, and
Mhm.
I've been subscribed to the Toy Pizza for people who like Glios. I've been subscribed to the Toy Pizza Patreon for about a year now, maybe a little less than a year, and then I started on their next up tier, and he does that. He has he ships them every other month,
Mhm.
and it's like essentially like two figures. So it turns out to be like a figure a month essentially. Um, and there's usually a lot of other stuff. Sometimes there's like three figures or four figures, but it's like a regular small little wave every few months. In addition to like he'll do regular waves like of stuff, but like for his Patreon, it's pretty cool. And it's like he goes all out with them and creates stories, and he has somebody who creates videos for him, and there's like all sorts of story and stuff attached to it. Like this time he did he's been telling an alt version of Star Wars Episode 1, and a couple characters he invented for that were like the characters, and they were tributes to old vintage Star Wars figures. One was Prune Face, and the other was the swoop bike rider from the like the Power of the Force to Shadows of the Empire line, like in the night like the
Mhm.
'90s line. But yeah, pretty cool. So for people who are into Glios and would like to do like a subscription kind of thing, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
And is that you just go to their website for that, or you have to go through Patreon?
It's his Patreon. Yeah.
Oh, so you just look up his name through the Patreon and find it that way.
Yeah, Jesse DeStasio. I'll put it
Mm.
in the chat. It's Jesse DeStasio on Patreon. It's cool. He's very much an artist, and he fosters. He likes to describe his Patreon even at the basic level just as like a place for people to like who are creative to gather, and like no matter how sort of skilled or trained or whatever you are, if you have something creative and you want to like have a place to like share it with other people and just be surround yourself with other like creative people, it's just like that kind of place. And it's all
Gotcha.
like indie toys, indie art. It's great.
Very cool.
Somebody had asked, what's the scale? Yeah, so those, as Keith is saying, those are about 3 inches. Do I have one handy? They're in the middle range of Glyos. You know, some Glyos, like the toy pizza, like the stuff I was just talking about, is like 4 inch. It's very reminiscent of like, you know, vintage 4 inch action figures. And then some are smaller, almost closer to like muscles. Not, I guess none of them are really that small, but like they kind of have that feel where they're like a little smaller. And then you have
Okay.
the 3 inch ones. So there's a pretty wide range, but they're all intercompatible with each other. So you could take the head off of one of the 3 inch ones and put it on a 4 inch figure, and it looks fine typically. All right. So we are going to draw for He-Man. Got 29. Reminder: the rules are in the comments, in the email, not in the comments, in the description below. So if you win, just email me at podcast@dorklair.com, and I will get this out to you probably tomorrow. If not, definitely by Monday morning, because I know I have something to ship out Monday. But it'll most likely be before that. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1 for the He-Man. Good luck. Who's it going to be? It is Lewis Christensen Vids. Congratulations, Lewis.
Nice.
Awesome. Okay. So we've been in touch before, so you know how to get in touch with me, Lewis. So just shoot me a message and I will get that out. Let me pull that down. Pull that down. Pull that down. All right. So then we also have the Warduke retro style figure, and we're gonna do another giveaway. And banner. And because Larry loves Warduke, we're going to do hashtag Larry on that one.
Nice.
What's up, Everett? We talked Glyos and you were summoned to the chat. Look at that.
You must have known.
Yep. You just felt it. And Patrick is here too.
Nice.
Alberto. Bunch of people just all of a sudden showing up. What's up, everybody? Yeah, hashtag Larry for the retro-styled Warduke to help me, again, clear out some stuff that's just been kind of sitting around. I will say having that here helped me when I was doing Larry's custom. Just like having the reference of it.
Mm.
I kind of used it as a reference in addition, obviously, to the pictures online of Rhaegar, but
Yeah, you killed that thing. It was awesome.
thank you. I wanted to do 2, and I just ran out of time.
They take a while, man. Full
Yeah.
customs take a bit.
Especially if you kind of like get busy with some other stuff, and then you got to come back to it, and yeah, it can take a while. So Everett was at a birthday dinner at a Chinese restaurant, and it felt very a Christmas story as we were the only ones there.
Nice.
I watched it Christmas Eve as we were getting ready for Santa on the Christmas truck comes around on the Christmas truck. The fire truck comes around the neighborhood every Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And we were kind of getting ready for that, and we were cooking our tortellini soup and just prepping for Christmas Day because we host and we go all out. But we were watching that on the kitchen countertop while we were getting that stuff done.
That's cool.
I was thinking about how when Ralphie beats up Scott, how much time like there's a lot of time that passes. Like he's beating him up for a long time, long enough for Randy to run home,
Get
all
his
the way
mom,
home,
bring
and
her
then
back.
for his
Yeah.
mom to run all the way there. Like that's a
And
long time.
he's still hitting him by the time she
Yeah,
gets
he's
back. Yeah.
full blast the whole time. What does it say? Oh boy, Curtis, picture with that blanket.
I believe he's talking about the Legions art of Richard Jones comforter that I recently got.
Okay,
I posted a picture on the Cabal. So they've got
I
a
gotta look it up.
Redbubble store where you can buy stuff with Richard's art on it, and one of the things was a comforter. And
Oh,
my wife had been talking about needing to get a new comforter for our bed, and I was like, "Well, here you go."
that's right. I did see that.
So
That's hilarious. You know, I started watching Red One, and then we got distracted with something, and I need to go. I need to get back and like finish that movie. That might be one that
it was
gets held
really
off
good.
till next
I
year.
enjoyed it
But
quite a bit.
yeah, it looks really good. With Rhaegor being a tribute, will he ever be re-released? Probably not.
I don't think re-release, but I would not be surprised if we got a second version of him.
Or another, even like another character from like with similar stuff going on, even if it's
Yeah,
not the same named Rhaegor, it could be like another guy from his tribe or something.
yeah.
Um, yeah, Ralphie's rage should be like a hashtag or something, a meme.
Yellow eyes. He had yellow eyes, Bill. It's crazy.
And legacies, yeah, legacies. Rhaegor could
Well,
be.
they said on the Dragon that there was a like an announcement that said that there will be figure unlocks. So I would not be surprised to see either a Rhaegar version 2 or some other
Mm-hmm.
kind of knight like figures with that, like dragon shield as an unlock with the dragon.
Yeah, a Rhaegor too would make a ton of sense. And it would further drive demand for the dragon, right? Like to
Mm-hmm,
have that as part of it.
for sure.
As someone who is consistently bullied as a kid, that scene was so damn satisfying. Rafi's
Yeah,
Rage is a solid band name.
bullies tend to not be as much of a bully when you pop them in the nose. So
Yeah.
that I have found that to be true throughout my life.
I was hanging out with Chris, and he was talking about how Scott Farkas was his first figure that Chris Gorich, the first
Hmm.
figure that he designed at NECA was
Oh,
the Scott
nice.
Farkas. If not still too early to talk about, what are your plans for the Figura Obscura Ghost of Christmas Past surprise item? I shared a pic yesterday, as did a lot of people, being Christmas Day and the day that was that embargo was lifted. Um, and I put it on. I just put it was just the Ghost of Christmas Past with that head on it and the black robes from the new Red Death figure, and that was kind of like my swap that I did. You got plans, Curtis, for that head?
Not really. Maybe just, on some sort of vampire.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's a cool head. I just don't immediately have any thoughts for it. So
Somebody
I
post.
like the hair more than anything. Like the just
Yeah.
have these swappable hair pieces now is really cool.
It's funny how many people painted up the um, Ghost of Christmas Past hair in the Cabal over the last few weeks.
Hmm.
And everybody painted it black. It was amazing.
Hmm.
What a coincidence. Including Jeremy Gerard.
Yeah.
Mike V was meh about the surprise.
Yeah, there was that. I mean, I don't think the surprise is meant to blow anybody away. It's just a nice little extra.
Yeah.
But because of the whole, people making a big deal about not being able to show it or whatever, like it
Builds
makes
up.
it feel like it's something more important than what it is.
Yeah.
So it's just a nice little addition.
Yeah. It's fun. I think people take it a little too, like they hype it up a bit too much for
Yeah.
what it is, and it's just meant to be a fun surprise. And the only reason they delay it is because there's just a natural delay in everybody shipping out.
Yeah.
Or
There's
everybody's
not
stuff.
been one of the quote unquote surprises that I was like, oh my gosh, I need to buy so many more than I planned initially.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's typically like one cool piece that you could put on one cool figure, but you're not going to like army build it, So
The cool thing about this one was that hair. The fact
yeah,
that so you went from having 2 hairs and 3 faces to having 3 hairs and 4 faces, which creates this larger number of combinations within this one figure, right? Like
right.
it's pretty cool that way. All right, let's spin for Warduke. Let me pull this up here. Oh, we're at 100 people. Our little chill stream is got the audience here.
Nice.
All right, here we go. We got 38 people for the retro NECA Warduke. 3, 2, 1. Somebody got in. A 39th got in like the second I hit it.
Dun dun
I wonder
dun.
who that was. Faust 6. Congratulations, Faust 6. Again, shoot me an email at podcast@dorklair.com and I'll get this out to you very soon. All right. What else did I have in my little list here? 1226. Oh, the Cursed Dead is finally coming to life.
That sounds ominous.
So the Cursed Dead. Share this tab. This was pre-pandemic. I remember it was maybe Designer Con or it was something way back in 2019. And it's Toy DNA. Yeah, Toy DNA. And you can see the head. Like, so this is just I should probably have it notify me, right? I'm not logged in. I'll do it later. So you can do the notification thing. So the Kickstarter is coming soon for the Wave 1 of the Cursed Dead. And let me go to this to show you what the figure looks like. So Wade had it at the Unparalleled Universe table at Legions Con. And that's the figure right there. So it's a way, I mean, there's going to be more than just this guy, but this is the guy they've had on display. So that is the Cursed Dead. I thought I would kind of like get people to go click the link. If you just go to Kickstarter and go to Cursed Dead, just to spread the word. But yeah, Cursed Dead.
Cool.
Rick Jones says detailed. Dave Orkin says I like that. And these have been, it was funny because they had like, before the pandemic, they had been talking about it. And then they must have been sidetracked after that because there was no word of this at all for a long time. And then over the last year, they've been starting to like ramp back up again. And so it sounds like this is finally going to happen.
And you're saying this is like going to be a wave of figures or
I mean, that's what I just noticed that it said on the Kickstarter page is Wave 1. So
Gotcha.
A reimagining of classic horror characters, demons, and monsters by toy industry veterans with over 50 years of combined experience. 1/12 scale line to complement your 6-inch action figure collection. A modern reimagining. Yep. Vampires, dragons, or Vampires, demons, spirits, creatures, and shape changers, legendary horror icons all with one thing in common. These unfortunate immortals were born into the darkness. They are the cursed dead.
Mm.
And I feel like that's the only one they've shown, or maybe they've shown others, but they just haven't shown them recently. Because if we go to their, so let's go back here and go to this. Have they shown any other ones recently? This was a video, but it's kind of hard to sort of. Okay, so here's a demon on that same body, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. This looks like it could be one.
Wendigo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that pumpkin-headed one is creepy as hell.
So you got those three there, right? Yeah, that's crazy. The cursed dead have severed their demonic pact, and all prophecies foretell a supernatural launch coming our way. The team has a lot of wicked new stuff that they are very excited to share with you, but for now, here's another quick pick of our own Pumpkin King, because who doesn't like some surprises for the holidays? Oh, here's a good one. Let's see. Wow. So yeah, so that'll, I don't know what the date is going to be on that. But that should be coming. Sounds like it's going to be early this year. Oh, there we go. This is one that I remember from a long time ago.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. What do we got?
Baxter.
Totally. Growth on the back there. Did they have a werewolf? Is this part of it? Yeah. Okay, there it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the cursed dead. Is it Adam Van Winkler is part of this? All right, let me pull that down. All right, let's start the last giveaway. So we've got the red jet. So the last one will be for a Tusk Pilot, aka the red jet. To me, like the coolest cosmic the figure that came out this year, just because of that red tone.
Second coolest behind Fisher Rise.
It's pretty close. And if Fisher had been that red, like it's just for some reason that particular shade of red really just blew me away. And the paint on Fisher is amazing, but seeing that red.
I love the jetpacks that Brian did for those at Legions Con for the Red Jets. Like it's just a great addition to that figure.
Let me put you large.
So, I've just got mine there holding his helmet, and then he just did an amazing job on those jetpacks.
That's awesome.
So,
did you paint that?
No, he did that.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I just picked that up from him.
That looks dead on.
Yeah, he did a great job. So, I knew as soon as I saw that he was working on those, I had to pick one of those up.
Yeah, and then Ox Crew is going to be coming out this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, this year is going to be like overwhelming. It's going to be
there's going to be a lot of figures.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's going to start right away. It's just going to start right at the beginning of the year, and it's going to go right through the year with all the figures.
I think space is going to be the biggest issue, because a lot of this stuff, most of us have already paid for this stuff. Like we've pre-ordered and stuff, but space is going to be.
Yep.
I mean, the Ox Crew, those aren't small ones either. Like those are big boys in the Ox Crew. And then you've got, so many figures in Necronominus and All-Star 6. And Yeah, it's gonna be a big space killer year. So
Yeah, and it like time too, because like with enough time, I can manage my space, but it's like I get to the point where I just don't even have the time to like figure out stuff. Um,
mm,
so time is also like another thing when you get between like opening them up and posing them and playing around and popping and swapping, doing reviews and all that stuff. Like where's the time to like actually organize my collection? Space, it's the final frontier in my collection room. Space, the final frustration. Okay, so let's do the red jet. Let me get that set up here. The giveaway tool. Go back to this. And let's. Oh, yep. And we consulted before the show, and Curtis decided that this is probably what we should have for the hashtag best cosmic. The red jet, the best cosmic.
mm, I just don't know about that. It's pretty good. It's definitely up there. It's a solid
It's
number 2. So
I will say it's not my favorite overall cosmic. It's my favorite cosmic of 2024. But yeah, best cosmic, and we'll see. Do I have any other news items? I think that's everything I had. You got anything on your mind, Curtis?
I saw somebody had mentioned earlier, asked if we had any like exciting pickups for Christmas. We could talk about that if you want.
Yeah. Did you get anything?
I got a couple things that were kind of cool. This I actually got. My daughter's boyfriend gave me this. It's a
Oh, look at that.
McFarlane sketch edition of the Batman Hush figure, which I didn't
Yeah.
even know was a thing, but it's really cool. Like, yeah, I thought that was kind of neat.
Mm.
Um, I had ordered this one a while back, and when it came in, I just told my wife to like put it aside for Christmas. It's the Val Kilmer Hot Toys Batman. So
Nice.
yeah, so that's my hot toy collection continues to grow. So
Yeah.
and then my favorite gift each year is this little book that Darla does for me, where she collects like all these pictures from Legions Con.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
um, it's like my favorite gift every year. So Christmas comes about a month and a half after Legions Con. It's kind of about that time that you're missing everybody and stuff, and then I get to go through this and kind of
Yeah.
relive the entire week. And yeah, so I love these little books. So
That's awesome.
yeah. What about you?
Um, so I didn't receive any Christmas gifts that were toy related, but I have gotten some stuff in. Um, it's kind of apart right now, but I did get. Let me switch me over here. I did get the Norseman, and I literally just cracked that thing open today. So it's like the head's not even on there because I was starting to like pull it apart and mess around with it. But as you can see, like the paint job on that is pretty great. This figure's
Yeah,
looking
the
nice.
shadows and everything are awesome.
Yeah, really good shading in there. So I got that in, and it's funny. I'm kind of excited to take a picture. So like this piece is an overlay,
Nice.
so you can lift it up. So if you take the foot off, you can pull it off, and it'll make it look like he's wearing slippers. So I'm like oddly excited to do a picture of this guy in his slippers. Um, and then I also I'm I'm trying to get the time to do a review of this. Um, but
Ooh,
I got the Joy Toy. I mean, like everything came in. Like the next two waves all came in at once.
yeah.
So Shredder here, and then with Shredder, and I don't want to take him out of the pose because I got to do my spin around shot for the video. But he came with two. And these foot soldiers are actually different. There's two different ones. If you can see, they have differences about them. Some
That's
similarities,
cool.
but they're sweet. These are the 1/18th scale figures, and not only did that, this is wave 3. So not only did wave 3 come, but also wave 2 came. So we got Bebop and
Yeah.
Rocksteady. And these came after, so I like barely just opened these ones. But they feel great, just first impressions. So
They did
this
a great
line
job on
is
those.
killing it. Yeah, these
That's not my
Joy Toys.
scale, but I love the details and the sculpts.
Yeah, they feel great, man. Like these you are awesome, and I'm glad. I'm honestly happy to shift over to 1/18th for Turtles because I'm I got so into the NECA stuff, but like I'm kind of like it's a lot. It's a lot of figures. It's a huge collection. It's a lot of
Mhm.
space, and I could shift down to this and like totally revamp that. So
Yeah, I'm happy with the Mezco set. Like,
yeah,
got the Mezco Turtles, Mezco Casey, and I'm good just stopping there. Like, even
yeah.
if they do a bunch more stuff, I think I'm okay with just stopping at that point. So
Not a splinter. You wouldn't buy a splinter, or maybe.
maybe I think I could probably convince myself to just stop where I'm at. But I do
Yeah,
love what they've come out with so far.
yeah, yeah.
So
They've killed it.
Trevor said to show the best picture in here, which I think he is referring to this one. Just FYI.
Nice. Mason got a Joy Toy Ultramarine.
Nice.
Nice. And Space Wolf. Jeremy Govier got a Space Wolf as a Christmas gift. And yeah, that the shredder it does look incredible. It's got a lot of cape. It's one of those big plastic, soft vinyl type capes. So
Right.
that can be a bit cumbersome when figures have that, but it does move really well. Like these things have great articulation for little figures. Yeah, Mike, I think I agree. I mean, just on first impressions, it just feels like a little step up. And I know they're going to be adding more articulation and they're going to be like changing that kind of some of those limits that these things have. Like for example, I hope they give it waist articulation. Like at some point, from the upper chest to the hips, it's one solid piece. So like I'd like to see a ball joint at the waist would be great. But yeah, it so far it's great. You don't need more to collect. Stop, Bill. You talking about the turtle stuff?
I
Well,
hear.
Everett's an enabler because every time there's a Glios drop, he messages me and lets me know about it. And there's been a lot of those lately. I have exercised some willpower, especially the last few months, but I still been dipping in. Mezco Popeye is a great figure. That is like an iconic Mezco figure that they really like. It's one of those ones like it's like you don't expect it to be like this incredible thing, but it's kind of like the NECA Alf, where it's like, who expects that to be like this like all time awesome figure? But it is.
Yeah.
I made you buy Ghost of Christmas Past. I'm sorry, and you're welcome. Yep, Frazetta Girls, Conan is going to sell like hotcakes. I agree with that. I think one of the things people dislike about, I think one of the only things people dislike about the Mezco Conan is that for a lot of collections, it feels short.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's like, there's no other figures in that line. The 112, yes, but like the 112 Conan line, like there's no other characters in that line. So it's like, there's nothing to really compare it to, but, it's for a lot of people, it's just too short. King Conan will be on my list. I'm working on my top 10 other, like just general everything list.
Mhm.
And King Conan is definitely on there.
We've got our episode of that tomorrow night, so that'll be fun.
Oh, nice. Sweet. Let's go off-world. For those in the audience who might not be familiar, go subscribe.
Yeah, we did. It has to have been released in 24, and you had to pick it up in 24. So some people will have 10, some people won't have a full 10. So
that's how I do my lists as well. It's got to be released in 2024.
Yeah.
And I have to own it, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, the Battle of the Blackstone Conan, the prototype and the renders and everything look amazing. That figure, the sculpt on that looks awesome. To me, that could be a contender for best Conan figure. And that one is not by a known company. It's by the actual company that owns the Conan brand. So it's what are they called? Heroic Signatures. And they're doing it on their own. They are using the same designer and sort of production manager. I don't know if he's technically a production manager, but he tends to run these kinds of projects. Project manager, I guess, is what he would be. But Eamon O'Donoghue, he's just doing both of those. So there's going to be a lot of similarities, I think, but it's two totally different owners and companies.
Gotcha.
Lone Dragon asks, did anyone even see my funny picture? In the chat?
Oh, no. I don't think I did.
So this is a genuine problem that I have with my list. So yes, if it's released in 2024, but I get it in 2025, it doesn't make it on a list. It just doesn't make it. I tend not to so if there's something that shipped in December of 2024 and then it got to me in early 2025, yeah, I don't put it on my 2025 list typically.
Yeah, what we said was if it was something that released in November or December of 23, but then you got it in 24, that you could include it. So
right.
Just for that reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to especially with it being a recorded YouTube video and just sticklers out there who are going to just be you're wrong for including that. I tend to just if it has to have been released in 24 for me.
Yeah.
So some things get caught in the gutter between years. Well, I don't think it would have been on any lists for mine, but I remember late last year, right after my list, the Mezco Dr. Doom came. That came right at the end. So I would imagine people would probably have that on their 2024 list, even though it technically released in 23, but it wouldn't have made my list anyway, but I wouldn't have put it on this year's list because of that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Doom. It was right at the end of the year. So it's going to fall through the cracks for sure. Heinrich, have a good night. Yeah, we're going to be wrapping up soon too. We're going to do this last drawing. Let me share this tab. So we are giving away a Tusk Pilot, a red jet.
Second best cosmic.
Which is the best cosmic. We got 62. Maybe next time we do a giveaway and we do one of each and we see which one gets the more entries.
That's funny.
Let's see here. Cloud says, I almost called you Cosmic. Cloud says, some Horseman stuff is tricky. Ninian will be on my 24 list, but he'll get a standard release in 25. Yeah, that's a tricky one. The only one for that was weird for me was the Armory experience. I kept it off my list, even though I got those in 2024. I'm waiting for the standard release, and I'll include the standard release because then you have a finite number of them where you can actually pick one figure that many people have that's a figure that is like a release rather than it just being a kit bash, right? Like, so it would almost, to me, it would almost be like putting a kit bash on my list, like a pop and swap on my list, you know? But with the 10, pre-builds, I think that'll be, more reasonable. Motu Guru says Doc Knock will be on his 2025 list. I canceled my Doc Knock, by the way. I went through a big pre-order purge, and that one still hadn't shipped, and I unloaded it. I just said cancel. However, I did have to contact them. So something I learned is if you cancel from Mezco, if you ordered with a credit card, it will not automatically be refunded. If you've ordered with PayPal, it will automatically be refunded.
Interesting.
So yeah, I had to contact them, and they took care of it. They refunded me. Corey got 6 Fisher Rice. How many did you get? 12, Curtis? 24? I
got 12, but I've now given 4 away. So yeah, I've opened 2 myself, so I've only got 6 left at this point. So
okay,
what started out as a lot is dwindling very quickly. Yeah. I actually have a video dropping tomorrow where I pop and swap it with a blue Hagnon.
Nice. Yeah, you shared that picture. Nice. Yeah.
So, well, I've shared it with you. You're the only one that's seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. So, and I've got a lot of respect for folks that do like you that do the pop and swaps in the videos, because I mean, just swapping those 2 figures, it took me, about the whole day to record and edit that. So yeah, it's not so bad to just do it, but to try to do it and create content with it is like,
right.
Yeah.
Something that's like something that somebody could watch and not like get bored with or whatever, right? Like,
yeah,
it's got to be watchable.
Right.
Looks like Jeremy is voting for Fisher Rice.
No, I think he's voting for the Red Jet as second best Cosmic. So
okay. Mason wants the Emerald Green Knight. I gotta say, man, I was all hyped up about the Green Knight, it's amazing. But after seeing that red in person, that is a special color, red. That is a very striking color.
I liked the leathers the best. The green leather and the black leather were, man, they were so good.
Yeah. Cloud also axed a bunch of pre-orders. Yeah, I am hyper focused on that dragon, and I'm selling stuff. I'm axing pre-orders. I'm trying to clear up space. It's like everything. It's like I want to be to a point when that dragon ships. I want to be at a very like toy starved moment. Like I want to feel like I've been like waiting for something to come in and like really just like need that, and not just have it be another thing that just like kind of like overwhelms me.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody's praising Fisher Rice. So, what's the price again? Oh wait, what? Well, sorry. Where is the best place to buy rice? Any of the retailers, they should all be the same.
A lot of them were selling out though, so I don't know.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
know the studio doesn't have any more at this point. Like they're empty. So I know
yeah.
there's retailers that have been asking for more, and there's no more available. So um, I would get while the getting's good.
Yeah, I did order 4 of those. I did 2 of everything in that wave, and then 4 of Fisher rice. What's the price again on the dragon? We don't know the price of the dragon. I think it's going to be about $500,
I think
but
for
that's
the
pure
basic
speculation.
dragon without the add-ons and all that, I think you're probably right.
Yeah, and then the add-ons are maybe another 150. So let's say the dragon's 500, add-ons 150, or you could do the all-in for 600 or something along those lines. Is like that's my prediction.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Wolf King's got mystery boxes. Did they sell out? I'm assuming they probably sold out.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't know that they had more mystery boxes today.
he said it was kind of a stealth drop. I saw
Hmm.
it somewhere briefly. Somebody had mentioned it somewhere. I think maybe somebody posted it in the DorkLair group, perhaps. But yeah, I did not order it. Again. I'm on a very strict toy diet, and I'm going to be on a very strict food diet soon too because Christmas has been wrecking me. I was
Yeah.
genuinely hungover today. Um, not just from drinking a lot of like wine and beer and stuff, but just just having so many different foods that are different from my normal like food routine. It just
Right.
like it just affects you, you know.
Yeah, I've had a lot of good food the last couple days, so I'm ready to ready to get back to normal.
Yeah. Did you did you cook a Christmas dinner? Or...
Christmas Eve night, we had steaks, so I went and got a bunch of ribeyes from Sam's,
Oh, nice.
cooked those up, and then yesterday my wife made a ham, and my daughter made some homemade mac and cheese. So
Mm,
we've been eating good for the last couple
been
days.
eating good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a tenderloin and a ham as our 2 meats for Christmas Day today, or yet for Christmas Day yesterday.
Mm.
Um, and then a bunch of sides. I baked bread. I baked cookies. I did these for the bread. I did these a couple years ago. We did focaccia instead of. I usually just for a lot of stuff for baking. I just do a sourdough loaf and we slice it right. But a
Hmm.
couple years ago, I did focaccia, and it was just a really good Christmas type of bread. And so this year, my wife saw like on an Instagram or something this one where it was like instead of laying it out flat, you can you can plop the dough balls into um, muffin tins and then poke it down and poke the holes and stuff, and then put the toppings on. And it came out great. And you get like all that extra surface area. So like
Hmm.
every piece of it has like the whole total edge. It worked out really well. Technically they're focaccia muffins, but they're more like rolls, right?
Right.
Effectively. Um, came out good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have a ton of ham left too. The ham is like a secondary. Like the main thing is the tenderloin. Um, but yeah, so we because of that we have a lot of ham left. A lot of like ham and eggs over the next couple days, and might even freeze some. My parents made 10 kinds of cookies and Chex Mix. Was pretty much comatose yesterday. I love that like the powdery chocolatey Chex Mix type thing. You ever have that?
Yeah, my I don't know if that's what people call it normally, but my kids call it puppy chow. So, yeah, they
Yeah.
made a bunch of that.
Yeah, I love that. That's not something that my family or anybody ever does. It's like something that I've had at like other people's houses.
Hmm.
Muddy Buddies. Okay. A roast pork sounds delicious. Okay,
Absolutely.
so other people call it puppy chow. Yep. All right, let's spin the wheel for the best cosmic, the red jet. 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody. Was it going to be Keith Holvin? Winner. All right, so as usual, message me at podcast@dorklair.com and I will get that shipped out to you. Just let me know where to send it.
Beautiful.
All right. Let me remove my banner. All right, so we will be doing our end of the year like DorkLair awards show where we like me, Chris, and Larry, where we usually do our picks, like our number one figure in all these various categories. We'll be doing that in 2 weeks, so that'll be the next one. Like I don't know what the date would be, but like probably like the 10th ish, somewhere in there. Curtis, you said you guys are doing yours
January 9th.
January 9th. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you guys are doing your lists tomorrow night on Offworld.
Yeah, we've got a kind of a dual episode. We did a Secret Santa thing amongst the different folks on Offworld. So we sent out presents to each other and we haven't opened them yet. So we're going to open those. Nice. And then we're going to go through our top pickups of 24. So
sweet. And then is that pop and swap video dropping tomorrow or?
Yeah, that'll drop tomorrow morning on Art by Ackerman.
Art by Ackerman. Art by Ackerman. It's Art by Ackerman. It's Art by Ackerman. Which has one hell of a catchy tune by Jeremy DeWitt. It's I need to get in touch with him and
yeah, if you need a theme song, Jeremy DeWitt does some really good ones. So
yeah, he's good. And yeah, and I'm gonna try to have by the end of this weekend, or at least by New Year. I'm hopefully by the end of this weekend because by the time New Year comes around, I'm not gonna have any time anymore. But I'm gonna try to get my top 10 other like non Four Horsemen action figures up. I have my list pretty much made. I need to do the categories and then I need to do the graphic, like the little graphics for the screen and stuff. And then I need to do the spin arounds. So, and honestly, like these reviews, they're overwhelming to like think about, or these top 10s. But once I have my list set up, it's all actually very straightforward and easy. So it shouldn't take me too long.
Yeah, we're doing where we have to like actually have them with us tomorrow night. So we just show them.
Yep.
So we don't. So that makes it a lot easier doing it on a live than trying to record it and all that kind of stuff and edit it.
Or queuing up. Or like having, like if you're doing a live and you're trying to organize a slideshow of everybody's tops.
Right.
Like that. Yeah, that can be brutal. I actually would dread that more than doing a recorded video.
Yeah.
What does it say? Customizing action figures, getting paint all in his fingers. Oh, that's the lyrics, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Art by Ackerman gets my vote for best theme song of 2024.
Thank you very much. I'll take the credit and then just pass it on to Jeremy DeWitt. So.
Alrighty. Well, this will be the last one until the new year. So I hope everybody has a wonderful new year, enjoys the rest of their vacation if you have any. And if you are working, don't work too hard because you should be on vacation. All right, everybody. Until next time, may the force be with you.
Follow me into the door.